Comrade, it's a great time having you. My name is Mr. Hussein. I have a lot of motivational message. Go to my YouTube channel. I have the channel. Nothing can stop your motivational message. Watch them, subscribe to them. Also, YouTube, I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. I have a lot of teachings on dating and courtship and marriage. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. I also have these ebooks for you guys. Building your competitiveness in a crowded planet. Amazon Kindle and Gumroad, $4. It will be impossible to have this world without you, $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world, $5. Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. There is something inside you the world is in need of, $4. The leaders of generational thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon Kindle and Gumroad. The sales are not going. The sales are not going. I know you guys will help me. So thank you for your staggering and blistering support on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and everywhere. Thank you. What you have been doing for me, I'm so grateful. I hope you help me drive the sales of this book. In the next 15 minutes, I want to share with you motivational message of entitled "Growing with the Cloud of Luminaries and Connoisseurs." Growing with the cloud of luminaries and connoisseurs. Or how do you stimulate your waves? How do you stimulate your wave? How do you stimulate your level of performance with the luminaries and connoisseurs in your field of discipline? Very simple. That's what I'm saying. Growing with the cloud of luminaries and connoisseurs. So without any ambivalence or without any level of uncertainty, without your prowess or without your depthness or impeccability, vitality, you have to have that unparalleled, meaningful insight into the stimulated waves of impeccable personalities in your field of discipline. And that's where you belong to. So, overridingly, over the period, with that staggering level of understanding, you have to deepen your strategic understanding by having unparalleled, meaningful insight on the stimulated waves of impeccable personality in your field of discipline. And understand where that's where you will belong and where trying to equip yourself to move with this group of people in your field of discipline. As done by Mother Teresa, the Albanian Italian Catholic woman who believed in what she wanted to achieve, being understood her level of philanthropy, that he can be a lift of others and nobody can perform a role better than himself in the world. Over the period, she established a lot of institutions that help be a lift of others and be a cry to the hands of millions. He's been canonized in the Catholic Church as Saint Teresa for a very, very panoramic achievement in the Catholic Church and beyond. He got a Nobel Prize award for her achievement as that Madame Teresa, the Saint, Catholic canonized saint. Perspicuously, I see a billionaire in you. I see business magnate and mongo in you. Hence, propelling to stagger the magnet in you and stimulate your internal structures. This will take you to a place of permeating and penetrating living, but not just mere excellence, as done by a man called Lun Ping, Chinese agronomist and also inventor of the period. Assertively, you have to assertively understand that you have been inundated, or you have been equipped with that blistering achievement. Therefore, operationalize your crystallizing framework to spark that accumulating possible life development. So you understand that you have been inundated, or you have been equipped with that blistering act of achievement, have that mindset, and that you are prepared to stagger, that your staggering framework or that your conventional approaches towards trying to trigger your level of cumulative possible life development, as done by Indri Nuvig, Indian American, and the CEO of Pepsi, and who was the CEO of Pepsi company over the period. You understood Indri Nkui, Indian American, who is the CEO of the Pepsi company over the period. There's this personal quote I want to share with you. Ralph Waldo Emerson, American philosopher, once said that to be yourself in the world is to consistently try to make yourself something of a great achievement. And this will actually give you that transnational confluence of achievement over the period. I want to share you a story of a very pagendrum, very venerated, inimitable, and lionized personality who over the period understood what it means to grow with the cloud of luminaries. He is called Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. Who is that? He's an Italian artist. He's an artist or painter, inventor, and scientist over the period. Leonardo's imagination and interest in drawing was more than anything else. Hence, he started working with Andrea del Verrocchio workshop in Italy. He understood the substantial running requirement of that of illustrious personalities and meritorious achievement of careers that needs to be triggered by him over the period. With that substantial running requirement, he understood how to stimulate the way with that illustrious and meritorious personality to stimulate his career over the period, with working with Andrea del Verrocchio's workshop over the period that time. His earlier painting was called The Landscape with a River, which had a bare eye view of the Andrew Valley and now in the cabinet of drawers and painters of Uffizi over the period. With that irresistible surge of blistering achievement, he had that started an earlier achievement with that painting called The Landscape of a River, which had a bare eye view of Andrew River over the period. He in 2017, one of his paintings he did in the 15th century. Leonardo da Vinci lived in the 15th century, right? That time. One of his paintings he did in the 15th century. One of his paintings he did was sold for, in 2017, was sold for $450.3 million. One of his paintings he did in the 15th century, Leonardo da Vinci, was sold in 2017 for $140.3 million. Why? Was he understood, Leonardo understood the transcendental massive accomplishment. That he had that transcendental massive accomplishment with him when he grew with a cloud of luminaries and connoisseurs in the field of discipline. Having a painting being sold for $450.3 million in 2017. And he is recognized. Leonardo da Vinci is recognized as a genius, a universal talent of the Renaissance humanist ideal period, and fully embodied bringing greatest form of expression in disparate fields of art and knowledge. He viewed himself as an expensive jewelry and vehement refinery in his generation without global influential achievement. And you also have to think about these things. Also wrap your mind around these things, how you also grow with a cloud of luminaries. I want to remind you, go to my YouTube channel. I name is Say. Have a lot of motivational message. Watch them, subscribe to them for me. Also go to YouTube, my channel. I have another channel. Your marriage will be a state of mind. There are teachings on dating and courtship. Watch them, subscribe to them. Also have this ebook for you guys, building your competence in the crowded planet. $4. It will be impossible to have this world without you. Go to Amazon, Kindle, and Cambridge. $4. Your marriage will be a state of mind to the world. $5. There is something inside you. The world is in need of $4. Leaders of generation something gets $5. Go to Amazon, Kindle, Cambridge. I'm counting on you guys. Help me drive the sales. The sales are not going. I know the support you've been giving me. You keep on giving me the support to drive the sales. Thank you so much. I know you guys. You give me that staggering support. On concluding, wrapping up, what are some of the blistering ways of growing the cloud of luminaries? Somebody will ask, in what ways? What are some of the vehement ways? What are some of the important or pleasant ways? Some of the blistering ways I can grow with a cloud of luminaries and connoisseurs in my field of discipline so that I can penetrate through the crowd, through the crowded planet of fierce competition. Number one, relentlessly move with the new era of speed, but taking into account the world not only as it is, but the world as it will be in the next 3 years to 10 years. Somebody says, how do I do that? Sharpen your level of clairvoyance, your ability to predict the future, sharpen your level of clairvoyance to predict the transition. What will be the transition in transnational experience, productivity, efficiency, and also renaissance and resilience. If I want to grow with a new era of speed by taking into account not the world as it to be, but the world as it will be, not only the world as it is, but the world as it will be in the next 3 or 10 years, you have to have that level of clairvoyance to try and make that prediction. That what will be the transition in transnational experience, productivity, efficiency, renaissance, and resilience over the period. Sharpen your clairvoyance through radical knowledge, have a bare eye view of global activities and eagle eye perspective. Equip yourself. What will be the transition in transnational experience, productivity, efficiency, renaissance, competitiveness of the period? Equip yourself with these necessary transitions and strategies, unconventional approaches, frameworks, and models to actually grow the cloud of luminaries so that you can match with these the world as it will be in the next 3 years to 10 years or 20 years over the period, as done by a man called Sir Bernard Arthur Owen Williams, a British philosopher over the period. Number two, conscientiously, hardworkingly, extrapolate reverberating strategies, unconventional approaches from self-made millionaires, self-made billionaires in the global world. There are more than over 40 million self-made millionaires, self-made billionaires. Sit down, examine some of these people, especially those that relate to your field of discipline. Examine their reverberating strategies, their panoramic strategies, their unconventional assertive approaches, models, frameworks that they operationalize, that made them self-made millionaires and billionaires in the world so that you can grow with this group of people. I tell you, I see a billionaire in you. A man called Sir John McTempleton, an American British inventor, a bank fund manager, and philanthropist over the period, understood what it means. Started from nowhere. He understood that He can grow with a kind of luminaries. He can make himself self-made billionaire, self-made billionaire over a period. Sell Mark Templeton, introducing a lot of innovative, very penetrating, very eclectic ideas in the field of investment and finance, and he took himself to the oyster. He took the whole world as his oyster, regarded as one of the greatest event business achievements by the general over the period. You can also wrap your mind around even your field, whatever field you are, whether you're in a field environment, anywhere. Think about how you can also personalize. Overriding. Number three, overriding. Examine personalities that created eclectic or panoramic product or service from a simple ingredients. This product they created has significant impact on their country's GDP. Over the period, there are personalities who have created a very eclectic, very panoramic, or very permeating, very penetrating product and services from a simple ingredients. And these products they created have a significant impact on their world's GDP. Sit down, extrapolate their pertinent strategies, approaches, frameworks from 19th century. Examine some of these personalities from 18th century to date. Examine these personalities, how they did it. And think of a man like Asa Candlia, who was from Atlanta in US, bought a Coke recipe from a man called Sir Babington. Take that Coke recipe to Coca-Cola company in the world that have significant impact in the global world and a lot of economies. Sit down and examine such a personality as a Kindler. Or sit down and examine a personality like Phil Knight. Phil Knight was living in Oregon in the US. That time he bought a shoe from a man from Japan. And when he bought a shoe, he had a friend. He went to Michael Bowerman, told Michael Bowerman, I want us to distribute these shoes in Oregon. And the friend said, oh, we can create even a shoe better than that. They sat down, put their heads together, connected their minds, channeled their synergies, and a synergistic personality. They created the Knight. It was Robon Sports, now it's Knight Company. From a single product, just buying a product, they turn a product into a multinational company. And now the revenue of Nike is more than $50 billion every year. Think about it. Somebody like Helen Sanders, who saw they can create a company from a simple recipe of frying chicken. Examine such people. How did they do it? From simple ingredients, they transform themselves into a nation. They produce products and services that have significant impact on their country's GDP and global. Examine such personalities and grow with them. Examine a person like Michael Rose, Abed Rose. That time, these French guys were in London, saw that they can do something, started a restaurant in London, and that time they almost gave up on cooking, but they started working on over the period. They started a lot of restaurants, the Watershed Inn, the Los Grovery Company over the period that have 3 Michelin stars for 25 years. The first time company outside UK to have Michelin star for 25 years in the British history. Examine some personalities. There are a lot of these people. You can examine them. How did they think of people like McDonald and Richard and Maurice McDonald in UX that formed the McDonald company. All these personalities there. Examine how they create something out of it. Simple ingredients that have a very sort of staggering effect, stupendous effect on the country's GDP in the global world. Number 4, uniquely position yourself. Exploit the pertinent synergies and strategies from personalities and institutions that dominated the industry in your field of discipline. They dictated and directed the shape of competition in the field of discipline, and they have been dominating the industry for more than 10, 6, or 20 years. Examine these people, these personality institutions that have dominated their industry. Examine them. Equip yourself with their pertinent strategies and synergies and sizable implementation strategies, strategy vibrancy to permeate through the crowded plan of fierce competition. Examine these institutions, personalities. What are some of the pertinent strategies, sizable implementation, strategy vibrancies they operationalize that have made them dominate, that have made them shape and dictate the direction of competition in their field of discipline? And they are permeated through, they build their competitiveness and permeated through the crowd of fierce competition. How did these people do it? What are the strategies? What are the unconventional approaches, unconventional framework, unconventional, or some of these synergies, approaches, models these people operationalize that help them to achieve that? Examine them, equip yourself with these things, as done by a man, Bruno Gehart, an Australian journalist over the period, who have examined these things and have helped her to understand where he has to be. Last point, overriding. Examine personalities, leaders who introduce policies that revolutionize their country's economic growth. Even today, the effect is even felt today. Examine these personalities. Equip yourself with the staggering strategies, resplendent approaches. They introduce policies that help their country, that revolutionize their country's economy. Even today, sit down, critically examine such personalities, how they did that. What are staggering strategies, unconventional approaches, models, and frameworks? They staggering, blistering, catalytic framework. They operationalize. Somebody, a man called Tuku Abdul Rahman, was a Malaysian prime minister in 1963. He introduced a lot of policies that helped revolutionize the Malaysian economy. Even today, the impact is being felt. Examine such a person, Tunku Abdul Rahman. Also, examine a person like Park Chung-hee, a South Korean former president who introduced a lot of policy called Hanover River policy that brought a lot of chaebols, a lot of company chaebols, the Hyundai, the Samsung, the LG, that revolutionized the South Korean economy even today. Sit down, examine these people. What are the strategies, models, blistering catalytic framework they operationalize, unconventional, panoramic approaches and strategies, unconventional synergies, the channel that help them to achieve that. Examine them, equip yourself with these things to help you to grow with a cloud of luminaries and connoisseurs. Thank you so much for your time. Always remember, you want to grow with if you want to build your competitiveness in a crowded planet, always remember to grow with a cloud of luminaries, because there's a fierce competition in every aspect. Thank you for your time. Go to my YouTube channel. It's the name is Say. I have a lot of motivation message. Nothing can stop you. Watch them, subscribe to them. I have another channel, Your Marriage Will Be a State of Mind to the World. I have a lot of teachings on dating and courtship and marriage. Watch them, subscribe to them. Have these books for you guys. Build your competitiveness in a crowded planet. $4. And it will be impossible to have this world without you. $4. Your Marriage Will Be a State of Mind to the World, $5. Amazon, Kindle, and Gambro. These are very cheap. There's something inside you. The world is in need of $4. Leaders of Generational Thinkers, $5. Go to Amazon, Kindle, and Gambro. I'm counting on you guys. Thank you for your support. Help me drive the sales. The sales are not going. Always remember, I see a billionaire, I see a business magnet, I see a luminaries and connoisseurs in you, because you want to build your competitiveness to pierce through the crowded planet in the fierce competition. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. See you another time. Bye-bye. Bye.